And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from Scottish Rugby TV. Graham Law here at Goldenacre for the resumption of the BT Premiership. And today we're going to be spotlighting the Edinburgh Derby between Heriot and Currie. Currie currently in 4th place, Heriot's in 5th, and both teams obviously with eyes in trying to finish in the top 4 for the end of season playoffs. Currie looking to complete the league double over Heriot's. The rivalry between the two sides has been very intense over the last few seasons. Joined this afternoon from the BT Sports Scottish Rugby Academy in Edinburgh by Brian Eason. Brian, prospects for today?
Good afternoon, Graham. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Game's going to be a well-fought game. Both sides really looking to cement their place in the top 4. Speaking to both coaches earlier on today and during the week, is that they have targeted this game for the last wee while, and over the holidays, I know that Currie put in a performance against Watsonians last week, and Heriot's kind of looked at their break a little bit differently. So it'll be interesting just to see how both teams play the game today.
Yeah, Heriot's had a game against the Co-Optimists, which was a free-flowing Harlem Globetrotter style game on the 2nd of January. And as Brian was saying, Watsonians were up against Currie in a wee friendly last week. Our referee this afternoon is Sam Grove White from Montrose, and it's Alex Haggart, the Heriot standoff, getting us underway at Goldenacre. The pitch conditions, there was a pitch inspection this morning, and they were a wee bit concerned at sort of the early stages of the inspection, but it's now a really nice winter's afternoon as Charlie Shield goes on to the right foot, hoists skyward, and we'll have the afternoon's first line out. Should be quite an evenly contested battle on the touchline, Brian.
I think it will be. I think both sides have got some good players in there. I think you look at the Heriot's front row today of Murray McCallum, who's been playing well for Edinburgh. You've got Struan Sessford in there, so two good kind of lifting line out props, some good size, and then you've also got some good size in the Currie pack as well. So it will be a good competition.
Michael Lyons, the Scotland Club International hooker, throws in. It's caught by Callum Marshall. We juggle, and here's Junior Rasalea. Rasalea ball in one hand, well policed by Cammy Hutchison, and good work by Cammy Hutchison there.
Really good tackle there by Cammy, but he gets straight back on his feet as well, which was real positive. You see the ability of him to get across the pitch. He tracks his players really well and gets back on his feet. Cammy's a BT Sport Academy player in the Edinburgh programme, and also in the under-20 squad as well, so a really good start for him against an Edinburgh professional player in Junior Russell as well.
I was very modest. You didn't mention your own role in his development there, Brian. Very good.
No, North Berwick, 100%.
So, it should be a good contest at hooker today as well. Michael Lyons, we mentioned, Scotland age grade player and Scotland Club International, against Fergus Scott, who at this point last season was a professional player with Glasgow Warriors, again a former Scotland internationalist and younger brother of Matt Scott, the Scotland centre. It's Shield, finds Ross Weston. Weston staying big inside the Heriot's 22. Shield again finds back row through Stephen Ainsley. Currie taking ball out wide. Rasalea in with a tackle. Shield again. Here's Luke Crosby. We delay in presenting the ball. Interesting penalty call there, Brian.
Yeah, I think Struan Sessford made the tackle there, but didn't just quite roll away quickly enough there. Luke Crosby carried the ball pretty well on an outside shoulder, which makes it difficult for the tackler. The tackler just didn't move. Both sides, Graham, we're talking about the battle from the touchline. Two good lineouts, both sides looking pretty sharp from the line out. But just for the first kind of 2 to 3 minutes, Currie have just kept the ball a little bit more and just look a little bit quicker on the ball.
So this is where I feel my age. Jamie Forbes, whose dad I think was Gordon Forbes, a standoff from the golden years of Watsonians, Ewan Kennedy and David Johnston and maybe even the Hastings brothers.
You really are showing your age now. I think if there'd been television on there, it'd been black and white for all the viewers as well, unfortunately.
Anyway, Jamie Forbes with this chance to give Currie the lead from just outside the 22, just beyond the 15-metre line. Deep breath. And here he goes. And a successful goal kick from Jamie Forbes. So we're just coming up to 4 minutes played here at Goldenacre, and Currie take the lead through that penalty by their standoff.
Yeah, just an early start for the game, but I think Ben Cairns on the Currie side will be a little bit happier. They've just kept the ball a little bit better. Herriot's, albeit one line, have not really had much possession, so.
Haggart. And I wonder what impact the shadow and the sun will make today, Brian. It's certainly going to be a test for our intrepid camera duo.
I think it will be. I think from that one there, I think the sun is behind Currie at the moment. I think, and you know, from that there, it was just a
girdle.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a girdle. It was a kind of bad call from the pod there, and the ball had gone over. They're lucky that they've now got the possession again.
So as Brian was saying, Heriot's props are Murray McCallum, who's he was the Scrum Magazine Edinburgh Rugby Player of the Month for December, and immediately Currie's pack being put through the mincer a wee bit, but Weston did well, and they retained possession just outside the Currie 22. Charlie Shield charged down, pressure still on, and coaches are looking for clean exits here, and Shield onto the right foot again. Well taken by Gavin Parker, who's had a few outings at fullback. That's Michael Maltman. And Simmers feeds on to, I think that was Russell Nimmo. Simmers looking for ball. Taken on by Lines. Good tackle by Crosby. Rasselea taking the ball from his captain Rory Carmichael. Simmers sizes up his options. Murray McCallum, although a wee bit static at the moment. Simmers finds a wee bit space. Caught by Simmers. Haggart. Here goes Charlie Simpson. Old twinkle toes, maybe needs to straighten up a wee bit. It's all a bit lateral at the minute. Taken on now by the Heriot's pack. Quicker ball. Here goes John Semple. Simmers. It's a penalty advantage being played, I think, for offside.
Yeah, but a penalty against Currie there. There was no need for them to do that. They actually were defending really well against Heriot's there. Heriot's maybe, you know, first 2 to 3 phases within that passage of play was a little bit, as you say, one pass plays, not really going forward, and then they changed the point of attack. We're going through the backs, but Currie they seemed quite happy there. So just to come offside will make the Currie coaches a little bit unhappy. But from a Heriot's point of view, they've kept the ball for longer now.
Which is a theme that you were touching on right from the outset of the match. So Alex Haggart, involved in Scotland age grade setup in previous years, and spent a bit of time playing up in Aberdeen with Aberdeen Grammar. Haggart. And he levels the scores, so 8.5 minutes played here at Goldenacre, and it's 3 points apiece.
Yeah, I think that's a fair reflection of the game so far, Graham. It was good to see Heriot there, as I say, getting into the game. Big carries from a Murray McCallum, from a Michael Maltman, who brings experience to the side there. So you'll maybe see these guys carrying a lot of ball for the team today.
Jamie Forbes gets Currie back underway. It's caught by Russell Nimmo. Heriot's opting for route 1. Simmers for Charlie Simpson to chase, but a good take. I think that was by Harvey Elms, perhaps. Currie now looking to counter. Forbes finds a wee bit space over Gavin Parker's head. Parker scurrying back to Semple, and that's a decent nudge from the Heriot's fullback, the Ballymena man.
Yeah, it was a good gain from Currie there, I suppose, as well. And you're right, it was Harvey Elms that came up that took that ball. Harvey's been he's been in the academy system again this year, and it's been played really well for Currie, and is really comfortable under the high ball. And as you say, Jamie Forbes was just probing a little bit over the Heriot's back three there. So yeah, they have made a little gain, and they've now got the ball back on the line out in the far side.
So Fergus Scott, and his target is Stephen Ainsley, the 21-year-old. Good aggressive first up tackling there by Jack McLean, the Heriot's open side. Shield finds Robbie Nelson, taken on by Crosby. Good aggressive carry there. Shield maybe options on the that's a bit unfortunate there. Struan Sesford was in front, but clearly he wasn't anticipating the ball.
No, it was. I mean, it was an unfortunate penalty there. He wasn't anticipating at all. But it was a really good decision from Charlie to come short side. They had a 3-on-2 there, and because the ball was knocked on there, they did get a chance of that.
And I think he's overcooked the penalty. Appeals going on from Ross Weston, but the officials made his decision. He's made his decision, and Charlie maybe just being a wee bit over-ambitious there.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know if you can see far side, but you can just see in the top of your screen there that Jamie Forbes at 10 going off. He would normally be kicking these balls to touch. So Charlie's obviously grabbed it, had a little chance, and just gone for a little bit too much there, which was it's disappointing from Currie. Really good attacking opportunity for them.
So I'd anticipate that probably Rory Smith would come on, do you think?
Looks like Richard Snedden, the 9 is coming on, which may see half. Charlie going out to 10.
Yeah.
Charlie is a good rugby player, and it's got two good rugby players coming or being on the pitch. Snedden, experienced 9, and Charlie going out, not an experienced 10, but a good rugby player.
Sure. Richard Snedden, very experienced Scotland club internationalist. He's always struck me as having one of the slickest services in the Premiership over goodness knows how many years.
I think back to the time you were talking about with the Hastings brothers, I think he was round about then as well. Sned has been around for a long time, but in fact, for Charlie playing at 10 today, it'd be good to play your first kind of game at 10 with Snedden inside you. You will give him the ball early, and it will be nice and accurate for him.
And we're talking of talented scrum halves. The man in the Heriot's number 9 jersey is involved with Scotland age grade squads as well, isn't he? Andrew Simmers.
He is. He's in the under-20 squad. Both him and Charlie Shield are the two, or one or two of the 3 or 4 9s in that squad at the moment.
And that penalty, I'm sure, will please Stevie Laurie, the Heriot's forwards coach. The earlier scrum down in Currie territory, Heriot certainly seemed to get a bit of an advantage at that, and Currie still retained the ball, but that was good control by the Heriots pack.
Really good control. I mean, you look at the front row there. I mean, like I talked earlier on about the two props. Michael Linus is a good strong scrummager as well, and with two good second rows in the back of them, but in Hughes and Nimmo, it's a big front five. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Ross Weston at 8 today, even on their own ball. They'll be putting a lot of pressure on them.
So Haggart just nudges Heriots up the touchline. And they've opted for a 5-man line out here. Simmers. Ball out. Here's Rasselea. Rasselea onto the left foot. And he gets a nudge off one of the Currie backs. So Heriots with a throw to this line out right on the Currie 22.
A little bit fortunate there. They were going, good line at ball, playing at pace there, and I'm not, the little kick in there is speculative, but to get the ball back, I suppose it's a gain. But I'm sure Phil and Stevie, the Heriots coach, would prefer they kept the hold of that ball and tried another phase.
Yeah, both teams at the moment still seem to kind of be sizing each other up. There's not really been any opportunity to go for the jugular. That was McLean at the tail for Heriots. Now here's Rasselea, well policed by the Currie midfield. Simmers, McLean again. And it's Struan Cessford now on the charge. Cessford makes 4 or 5 metres. It's now big Russell Nimmo. Heriots with the heavy artillery at the moment. Michael Linus with a wee step. Linus supported by John Semple. And it's Nimmo again. The big borderer heavily involved. Haggart to Carmichael on the switch. Heriots going through the phases here. Here's Murray McCallum. McCallum once again. And it's taken on by Struan Cessford, the Heriots tight head, and that was a very well worked try from the home team.
It was, and I think that comes back, the penalty they got from the scrum. We talked about them, exerting a little bit more pressure. They got a good scrum penalty. The line has been good, and they're now using their big men carrying ball in amongst the Currie defence. And because the big men are carrying, they're getting on the front foot, and then they're beginning to play that little bit wider, a couple of passes out. And McCallum carrying, Cessford carrying. It does put a lot of pressure on that defence.
Yeah, I think the only member of the Heriots front five who wasn't involved in the sequence there that ended with Struan Cessford's score was Martin Hughes. But through the phases and front foot ball and quick ball and pretty direct stuff from the home team. So Haggart. Closer to this right touchline. And he just pushes it wide. So we've played 17 minutes here at Goldenacre, and Heriots leading Currie by 8 points to 3. As we're saying, the importance of this game, currently Currie are 5th and Heriots, currently Currie are 4th and Heriots are 5th. So given this is the resumption of the leagues today, an important game, not just for local bragging rights.
It's a really good exit that for Heriots. It puts pressure back on Currie again. I think when you have a 10 or you have any kickers that can put the ball on the far 10-metre line, Graham, it just it does give the forwards a little bit of a lift.
Yeah, a standoff who can control the game and just orchestrate and direct matters, worth his weight in gold, eh?
Certainly are, certainly are.
Now, here's Fergus Scott. Nice quick ball to Ainsley at the front. Snedden. Shield finds Cammy Hutchison. Inside ball to Robbie Nelson. Snedden a bit wider out. I think that was Crosby taking it on. And Snedden again. Shield. Nelson. Well placed. Crosby certainly putting himself forward. No hesitancy in making himself available as a ball carrier, but it's a turnover. And space out wide. And that was interference on the scrum half at the breakdown, and there was perhaps a degree of, shall we say, professional foul about that.
A bit of a professional foul there from Fergus Scott. I think Heriot's had defended well against Currie there. I know Luke Crosby's carrying ball well, and he's carrying it in the heart of them. But there's a lot of width to the Heriot's defence. They seem quite happy to defend with width, and it's putting the plays, the little bit wider plays of Currie under pressure there. Heriot's turned them over, had a bit of an overlap, and Fergus Scott maybe thinking he's using his experience. He's lucky he got away with that one there, I'll be honest.
Yeah, joining the dots there, dear viewer, from Brian's description. It was interesting though watching the Heriot's backs. As soon as the turnover was secured, Semple and the left winger were immediately sensing that the opportunity would be coming.
Yeah, and I think Fergus Scott saw that. So again, and joining the dots, viewers. But no, I think and it's right enough. Heriots do play well with that on turnover ball. They are really quick. They've got a very good back three who like to snap onto that.
Some problems here for Currie though, Brian, because looks as if Richard Snedden is departing, but well, happily, Jamie Forbes is able to resume.
Yeah, I mean, it does look like Snedden's carrying something there as well, which is, I'm hoping Forbes is fine, from his injury previously, but,
Yeah, it looks as if he's kind of holding that left arm a wee bit gingerly, isn't he? Yeah. Anyway, back to the action and an opportunity for Alex Haggart to land his second penalty. Haggart. That's a very clean strike. And the standoff extends the Heriot's lead. So first quarter done and dusted here at Goldenacre. Heriot's now leading 11 points to 3.
Yeah, Currie would probably be happy with the start, the first 5 minutes. They got on ball, but the last 15 minutes, I think the Heriot's front five have really kind of put their stamp on the game, and they're just giving the Heriot's a little bit more front foot ball.
So we'll explore with you in a wee minute, Brian, what you would do as Ben Cairns and the Currie coach to try and change that around. But let's stick with the action just now, as Simmers opts not to use Murray McCallum as first receiver. Good take by Elms, and Currie again. Charlie Shield sensing space on the narrow side. That ball probably could have gone to Ainsley, despite Ainsley's proximity to the touchline. Crosby again. Forbes finds Nelson. Nelson has, I presume that's Tagivi, wearing jersey 22. Yes, all sides are exactly as numbered, we were assured. Anyway, a kick ahead, and it's collected by John Semple. Trusty hoof, and we're up to the 10-metre line. So, Brian, if you were Ben Cairns, what would your kind of school of thought be to try and affect a change the pattern of the last 10-15 minutes?
Yeah, I mean it's very difficult when you're under pressure in the front five in scrum and in lineouts. But when Currie have been playing with a little bit of pace, they seem to be putting the Heriots under a little bit more pressure. But coming short sides, when they're playing on the short sides, Heriots are very, very good with the width of the defence, but Charlie Shields come short side 2 or 3 times and put the Heriots under a little bit more pressure.
Ball one against the throw there. And it's McCallum barrelling forward. And it simmers onto the narrow side now. Jack McLean. McLean makes a good 5-6 metres. Heriot's going open. The second row's in concert there. Simmers again. Here's Haggart. Haggart. Kick ahead from John Semple. I beg your pardon, it was Rory Carmichael, and it really was a wee bit clunky, wasn't it?
Yeah, not the best kick, and you know, that's twice Heriots have kicked the ball away. Ross Alia's kicked one, and Simpson's kicked one as well. It's disappointing kicks, but I think both sides should be looking to try and keep the ball for a little bit longer and trying to put defences under pressure.
Albeit they were a wee bit closer to the Currie line, but Heriots have already seen the value of going through the phases, and Currie's first penalty came through going through the phases. So let's see what happens. Crosby again. And Ainsley showing a bit of nifty footwork as he takes Currie over halfway. Shield. Oh, there's an opportunity now for Harvey Elms. Really good tackle by Struan Sesford. And he just about pulled off the interception as well. Here's Ben Robbins. Our first glimpse at Ben. Currie's back row very lively in that first receiver channel. Forbes finds Cameron Hutchison. Here's Nelson. Nelson. It's got Harvey Elms with him. Shield. Currie in the Heriot's 22 now. I don't know if that ball did go forward. Here's Maltman. Maltman is only ever going to go in one direction. And it's all just a wee bit messy as Heriot's try and counter. Well, scrappy, but I was going to say that the referee presumably deemed that the ball hadn't gone forward from Charlie Shield. He must have reckoned that it had come off Charlie Shield's shins to start with, because there wasn't an advantage there, really, was there?
But much better from Currie. The speed that they put on that, and just interestingly, we talked about earlier on, just coming back short sides. They did two phases going into midfield, and then came back against the grain, and it just put Heriots under that little bit more pressure. Harvey Elms looks good in space. You know, one run up the left side, one run up the far side, and again, Luke Crosby carrying ball. He's been a real good thorn in the Heriot side so far today. So
Luke Crosby's 19. You say that he's involved in the academy. What more can you tell us about him, Brian?
Yeah, Luke he was in the stage 2 of the academy last year, and this is his first year in stage 3, so kind of a more full-time role with him in the academy. You know, he's not been in rugby for a long time. I think he was kind of 14, 15 before he started, and he's grown hugely. He works very hard S&C wise with Jared Deacon. You know, there's a lot of skills and stuff, and the work that Currie have been putting in with him as well he's really coming on. I think he'll be a big player for the Scotland under-20s this season in the Six Nations as well.
Thomas Gordon is also involved in the Scotland under-20 squad, and he, I presume, is injured at present.
Yeah, Tom Gordon just sitting along there to our right. He had a little bit of a knee injury just before the Christmas holidays. Went back to New Zealand actually to mum and dad for a bit of time off, and hopefully he's going to be back next week and getting ready for the under-20s as well. So, you know, a lot of under-20 players here, a lot of academy players in this Currie side.
Currie scrum again, under pressure. Weston does well. Nelson. Jack McLean over ball, told to release, which he does. It was a lovely pass from Shield. Forbes. Here's the Glasgow Warriors Aussie Ratu Tagivi. John Cox, sprightly as ever at age 33. Here's Forbes. Tagivi with the inside ball. Big tackle by McCallum. Heriot's not committing too many to the breakdown. Forbes. Here's Hutchison. We show and go. Makes a couple of metres. Shield. Hint of a dummy. They're intercepted. And there's no fullback at home for Currie at the moment. If the kick had maybe been executed a wee bit more centre field, that might have been an interesting chase, but shame from the point of view of the kind of the building of pressure that Currie were going through there, that they didn't quite manage to
No,
pursue it.
I could see what Charlie was trying to do there. He was trying to kind of put the guard and shield, the edge defence of Heriot's under pressure, and trying to put somebody in a gap. And Alex Haggett read it quite well. But Currie have started to change the point of attack a little bit. They're not just continuing going the same way all the time. They're going round the edges. Tagivi had a couple of runs there, just going round the edge. A couple of good hits in there. Money McCallum putting a good hit as well. It's a good contest between these sides.
One at the tail by Currie. And I was just going to say that we hadn't really seen any catch and drive, and your point about Currie varying what they're doing, here comes a catch and drive. It's with Ainsley, I think, at the rear here. Shield, Hutchison. Oh, dearie me. Simple things first, maybe.
Oh, coming a little bit scrappy. You look at that. There was a back play there from Currie, which it's a pre-call. They've got to look where the space is. Heriot's defence has gone very, very narrow. Charlie Simpson was very narrow as well, but you can understand why. Currie just a little bit crammed up a little bit, and both sides just beginning to force it.
But it was interesting, picking up on your earlier point, Brian, that we were seeing again just a bit variety from Currie, asking different questions, keeping the opposition honest.
Yeah, and I think they had to change it. When Heriot's really got into the game, after the first 5 minutes or the next, up till kind of halfway through this game, and Currie had to change something, and it's good. It's positive to see that.
Fergus Scott not quite managing to hook the ball, and once again the Heriot scrum waxing strong, penalty looming, and you would have to say that they now, in terms of what they're looking to do next, it's a penalty to touch and build from there.
It is, and that's why we just saw Currie had good possession far side. They had a good line it, and then they're a little bit intricate in their back plate, and they made a mistake. They then, you don't want scrums. Heriots are so dominant in the scrum that Currie don't want it. They cannot really be forcing the game.
And Currie going to their bench already, and looking to bring on AP McWilliam into the front row. So we'll see.
15-minute rest for the front row. It'll do them a world. They're under an awful lot of pressure in there.
And I think it's Graham Carson that he's replacing. So Heriots again with a 5-man line out. They go to Russell Nimmo. Liners. Did it go forward there? Currie scavenging quickly. Here's Haggart. Carmichael has a dart. Currie competing fiercely at breakdown. Here's Nimmo. Another powerful carry onto the narrow side. Semple stays strong. Finds Nimmo. Nimmo still rumbling forward. Simmers. Here's Carmichael. Money McCallum lurking in the outside centre channel. Haggart with a wee dummy inside pass. It's picked up by Maltman. Maltman gives to Simmers. Simmers is in for a well-worked try by the Heriot scrum half.
Yeah, good score there, but the referee seems to be going to speak to his touch judge for something. Nope, he's changed his mind. He's been told it was a good score, and it was a good score. Again, they're using their big men, Maltman, McCallum running hard, but, the Heriots went short side far. They're putting Currie under pressure an awful lot by changing points of contact.
But it's interesting that both Heriot's tries thus far have come from an advancing scrum, penalty to touch, win the line out, and then go from there. So you know, from a Currie point of view, you'd be saying, you know, guys, let's try and when we have possession, let's try and keep possession and try and avoid some of the wee mistakes that have been, let's face it, pretty damaging thus far.
They have been, and I agree with you. The front five of the Heriots are putting Currie under an awful lot of pressure, and because of that, they are getting penalties in the middle of the pitch between the two 10-metre lines. They're kicking to touch, and you know their line has been good. Heriots' line has been good. They've played a 5-man there. They drove it at the back, and just they're just beginning to exert their pressure just with the power.
Another lovely strike from Alex Haggart. The Heriot standoff. And Heriot's now leading by 18 points to 3. We've got about 8 minutes remaining in the first half here on a lovely January afternoon at Goldenacre. So let's see how Currie can engineer some sort of response here. It's caught by Marshall, whose dad was some player, Graham Marshall, Scotland flanker. Good take again by Harvey Elms. Lovely step. Lovely quick ball. Forbes, Nelson. This is an opportunity out wide. Elms quickly regrouping. Shield. Here's Shield. McLean working at the breakdown, trying to affect a turnover, but Currie now driving forward through Weston, trying to tie in some of those Heriot's loose forwards. Lovely pass there from Ainsley to Hamish Bain, and the referee penalises Heriot's for not rolling away. That was better from Currie.
Yeah, it was good, and that little tip on there, as you picked up there from Stephen Ainsley to Hamish Bain, just makes a little bit of difference. Heriots they're coming off the line pretty hard defensively, so these little extra passes, these little tip-ons are very, very good. When Currie are going short sides, they're changing the point of the contact from short sides, or that little tip on it is putting that Heriots defence under that little bit more pressure.
Thoughts on opting for the touchline rather than getting the scoreboard moving there, Brian?
It's interesting because that's they are 15 points down, and they maybe do need to get that little bit more, and because they're under pressure in the scrum, they have to try and take every try scoring opportunity they can.
Fergus Scott then, and a good clean catch in the middle of the line out. Currie getting organised. The ball is with Mike Vernal. Here's Shield. Shield to Ben Robbins. Robbins working hard. Eventually clawed down by Michael Lyons. And referee very quick to blow for scrum there.
Very quick, and they'll not want that. They'll, little bit of handbags there, but Currie won't want that. Currie won't want a scrum. They've had a good platform there off the line. They want the ball to keep going. They want to keep the ball moving away. Heriots will be quite happy to have this scrum 5 metres out, albeit Currie ball.
So a big test for the Currie substitute prop, AP McWilliam, who replaced Graham Carson. McWilliam slotting in at tight head. And John Cox closest to us here on the loose head side. Cox, an Ellen man originally, and Struan Sesford, I think's Aberdeen originally. So a good Cali chance. Are you going to correct me there, are you?
I think, well, he's definitely Cali, so I'm not going to say anything else.
Just in case you're wondering, yes, Mr. Eason also represented Caledonia. So Currie controlling the scrum. Weston, great tackle by Jack McLean, and Weston holding on the ground. Not long enough though for Heriots to prevent Heriots turning over, That turnover, an exit for Heriot, it's all down to Jack McLean, Brian.
I mean, well, down the scrum at first as well. The scrum was excellent. It puts the Currie pack under pressure. Ross Weston does well coming off the base, but what a tackle with McLean. Disappointingly for Heriot, so the exit, I think they'll maybe make 5 or 6 metres with the kick. So Currie have now got a good attacking position on the 22 with a line out rather than a scrum.
Yeah, Jack McLean schooled at Wellington College, that prolific rugby school down south. Pretty sure that Max Evans and Tom Evans went to Wellington College as well. But Jack McLean, definitely a player to watch. Here's Ben Robbins, a wee bit space. It was on for Harvey Elms, but the ball goes forward. Heriots have a chance to counter here. Currie frantically trying to reorganise. Here's Charlie Simpson, he's got space outside. Junior Rasalea, lovely one-handed pass. Simpson on the go, ball goes forward. Currie have a chance to counter now. There's lots of space here for Currie. Perhaps the pass away might have been the more profitable tactic, but Shield onto the narrow side. Currie have numbers here. Here goes Tagivi. Setting up this attack. We're just outside the Heriots 22. The Aussie goes to scrum half. It's taken on by the Currie pack. Slow ball. Penalty advantage. Cameron Hutchison. Shield. Robbie Nelson. Michael Linesman with a tackle. Here's Harvey Elms. Lovely footwork again. Referee decides that advantage was not accruing, and he's going to have a wee word with the Heriots captain here about some infringements, I think, Brian.
Yeah, I think the Heriots are they're pretty streetwise. They know that Currie, when the game speeds up, they are actually looking quite dangerous. Harvey Elms is looking good at the back. When the game's quick and unstructured, Currie are looking good. They spoke to them because Heriots are slowing their ball down. When they get to breakdown, they're just trying to slow them down a little bit, get their defence organised, and then get the line speed moving. So
once again, Jamie Forbes decides against any attempt at goal, and let's see what Currie can do from this line out. So they're going for the full complement, it would seem. And it's Hamish Bain that is the target. And Currie rumbling forward. Denied, just a metre short. Ball is coming. And it's a pick up. Yep. And it's a try. And let's stay, let's stay on the close-up picture. And it's Ross Weston, I'm pretty sure, who got the score.
Yeah, good score. That's hats off to them. They've had 2 kickable penalties that they've decided to go against it and put the ball in the corner. Good catch and drive there. A better line out from Currie. The last couple have been a little bit scrappy. A great throw and catch there, Fergus, and the jumping pods a lot better there. Good drive and good deserved score.
Yeah, it was perhaps a more conventional line-out, and then it went to the front jumper Hamish Bain, and then the drive was positive and concerted.
It was, and when they've done the basics, they've kept the ball, and they've not spilled it, and they're not giving it the scrums that they're wanting.
So that score by Ross Weston, long-serving Scotland club internationalist, who's a hard man to stop from close range, gives Currie some very positive vibes as we head towards half-time. Jamie Forbes with a superb conversion. Well, that certainly perks Currie up. Half-time score here at Goldenacre. Heriots 18, Currie 10. And welcome back to Goldenacre for the second half of this BT Premiership match, the Edinburgh Derby between Heriots and Currie. Half-time score 18 points to 10 for the hosts. Brian, your summary of that first half?
Obviously, it was clear that the Heriots front five have dominated that game. Scrum and line out have been very good, and when the Heriots have got on the front foot, they've deservedly scored some good tries. Currie are looking very dangerous in the back three. They've got a good back three, and when the game breaks up, they're looking good. You know, Harvey Elms is looking sharp, as is Ratu Tagivi when he gets the ball. So when the game opens up, Currie looks sharp, and that try just at the end has made the game really interesting for the second half.
So as ever, first score of this second half will, I would suggest, be a bit of an omen, perhaps, as to what's to come.
Yeah, it'll be really important for both sides to get. I think, you know, for Heriot, it'll give them that little bit of breathing space that they can play with. But for Currie, if they score, it gets the game really back in there and puts Heriots under pressure. So you're right, this first score is vitally important for both sides.
Referee Sam Grove White, who's one of Scottish Rugby's aspiring up-and-coming referees. And Jamie Forbes gets the second half underway. Simmers, and immediately finds Haggart. Here's Rasselea. Rasselea, well tackled by Robbie Nelson. Can't believe that's a forward wearing salmon coloured boots. Dear, dear. Michael Linus. Haggart to Nimmo. Nimmo finds Carmichael. Now, Harvey Elms has a wee chance here. What's he going to do? He runs. Finds Ben Robbins outside. Robbins kicks ahead. Now, Charlie Simpson is eventually finds a way out of what looked like a cul-de-sac. Space at close quarters. And you wonder, are Heriots playing a wee bit too much rugby here?
I think they possibly are. I mean, Currie will be disappointed they've kicked the ball away and given the Heriots the ball back, but you'll maybe see them exiting and getting further down the park.
Given the exertions of the Heriots front five in that first half, you would have thought, shall we say, just a slightly more conservative exit might have.
An earlier exit might have been made the front five a little bit happier. Than, you know, they'll certainly be discussing that with the rest of their team there.
Anyway, it's a penalty, and Alex Haggart prods Heriots up to the Currie 10-metre line. And you'll recall from the first half, both Heriots tries originating from 5-man lineouts. And shortened again with Murray McCallum at the front. Russell Nimmo. And it's Martin Hughes as the target at the back, but Hamish Bain does grand work to interfere, and through he comes. Shield. It's Fergus Scott taking the ball at in the 10 channel. Here's Forbes now. Jack McLean with a tackle. John Cox feeds out. Here's Ainsley. Ball's there to be played. Shield. Bain tackled by Michael Maltman. Shield to Cox. Cox to Forbes. Forbes to Robbie Nelson. Nelson missed tackle by Carmichael. Nelson juggles and manages to retain possession. Currie again with their substitute prop, AP McWilliam. A side entry penalty?
Yeah, a little bit, and Currie will be a little bit happy that the game was sped up for them. They were getting a little bit quicker ball at the breakdown. They were Heriots, who were trying to slow them down earlier in the first half, were just putting the back foot a little bit, and that's just a silly penalty to give away in there, Graham.
So Haggart once again seek to boost Heriots and find a bit of territory, and we're 32 metres from the Currie line there or thereabouts with this line out.
Looks like they're going full this time. They'll be disappointed in their last line out when they went 5-man and they had Maltman and the big men in the middle ready to carry. There was a poor line, but here they go this time.
Callum Marshall, airborne, and catch and drive seems to be the option. And Currie's big men are just passengers at the moment. Hamish Bain and Mike Vernal doing precious little, as that drive has made 15 metres, and it's still going forward, and it's still going forward, and this will be some score for the home pack, and they really do look as if they're in the ascendant. Over the line they go, and that is a terrific score for the Heriots 8, and the scorer is the man who was smiling, who just went out of the shot. If our camera pans to the right, we may catch up with him. I actually think it might have been the captain, Rory Carmichael.
It could have been any of them in
joined,
there.
Yeah.
That's a good score. I mean, that for the purist, a line-out drive from outside your 22. The good body heights. The use of the big men in the front five there, and and they saw they had momentum there, and they brought in they brought in the winger, they brought in the outside centre, and good on them. Really good score for them. That's disappointing loss in the 5-man line out previous to that, so they went back to full man line out and just showed their strength getting over the line there, back to the domination of the front five again.
Yeah, it's been a familiar theme in this game. The Heriots front five very much exerting their authority. That's Graham Wilson over there on the touchline with a beanie on. Good to see him back involved, having had a serious leg injury, and that's a lovely conversion again from Alex Haggart. So we'll try and get confirmation in due course on that try scorer, Heriot's third try, but in the meantime we've played 6.5 minutes in the second half, and Heriots extend their lead to 25 points to 10. So more than 2 clear scores ahead. And let's see what they look for in an exit here. No, once again they're looking to play and keeping it with their pack. Simmers now goes aerial, and Charlie Simpson dribbles, but the referee rules a knock on, and once again the pressure's on the Currie 8 here.
Yeah, I mean, it's they eventually exit there. It's nice to see Heriots with the ambition. They are trying to play, and the first 2 or 3 phases from kick-offs, they will look to play, and if it's not on, they'll exit from that. And Simmers does he did put up a good contestable box kick in there. Just Harvey Elms went for it, missed it, but they were lucky just to get that little knock on, and Heriots have possession. Currie have now possession, and hopefully they try and do something with it.
So the scrum just 5 or 6 metres inside the Heriots half, over on that touchline. Some interesting headwear over there. And once again, the Currie 8 really under the cosh. No wonder Murray McCallum's got a grin on his face.
Yeah, he'll be enjoying that, Murray, and he'll be. I think it's good to see Murray talking to the referee there. He'll be talking absolute rubbish, knowing Murray, and he'll be. In fact, he'll probably be asking Michael Linus for his salmon boots back. No, I'm surprised Murray's not got them on himself.
I don't know, a self-respecting hooker wearing salmon boots.
Well, Murray, as Ali said there, has got white ones on. Come on,
Aye. Whatever keeps folk happy, as they say. Sam Grove-White rules an early engagement from Heriots, and Ross Weston on the charge, derailed by Jack McLean. I think that ball's gone forward. Referee rules otherwise. Rasalea makes the tackle. Rasalea involved again. Currie really not committing many men to the breakdown, and they pay the price there.
Yeah, they're not committing enough to the breakdown, and the way that Heriots are defending the breakdown, I think Currie have got to send extra in. Heriots are trying everything they can to slow the ball down for Currie, knowing that Currie do play they do try and play quickly. So fair play to Heriots for doing that, but Currie really need to be a little bit smarter in and around that breakdown.
Heriots have certainly profited when penalties have given them the opportunity to get a foothold in Currie half. And it's going to be full line out again.
Full line out, and see Currie are making a little change in here with Scott McGinley coming on, and it looks like Scott's coming on for Mike Vernal, which is a second row coming off in a back row. So maybe Luke Crosby moving up to the second row here.
And Currie have also brought Graham Carson back on for John Cox. Good leap at the tail of that Heriots line out. Slow ball. And it's the instruction from Captain Carmichael is a bit of pick and go, please. Simmers, here's Nimmo. Marshall. It was a bit acrobatic. Here's Nimmo again. On to Hughes, who was schooled at St Aloysius. Maltman. Low centre of gravity, Michael Maltman, the former Scotland Sevens player. Oh, and that ball goes behind Russell Nimmo, and Currie need no second invitation. Let's play. Here they go. Ainsley. Good tackle by McLean, but Ainsley was suitably quick-witted to get back to his feet and play on. Here's Forbes. Forbes sends to space. Currie 10 has an opportunity. Charlie Shield just needs to keep calm. Here's Hamish Bain. Bain to Hutchison. Hutchison. Here goes Tagive, the Australian. Russell Nimmo completes the tackle. Fergus Scott. Slow ball, Shield. Forbes almost like a football goalkeeper to retrieve that pass. Currie attacking, going through the phases. Just need to keep patient. Charlie Shield really having to work hard. McCallum threw on him, and I think McCallum may have turned that over. No, it would appear not. Fergus Scott directing traffic. But you feel that the momentum that Currie had, and there was a bit of buzz and zip to the attack. Let's see if they can re-energise that. Here's Fergus Scott again.
Yeah, positively, they're now keeping the ball, and that's the good thing. When they're on the front foot, they keep the ball going quickly.
McWilliam tackled. Sorry, Brian.
No, carry on. They're putting them under
Shield
pressure. Ready to go.
Using the narrow side. Ben Robbins. Great tackle by Simmers there. It's McGinley. McGinley's lost the ball forward, so after all these phases, here's an opportunity. Charlie Simpson feeds it out wide. Now it's John Semple. Semple over the 22. Gavin Parker has to hit that ruck. It's taken on now by the young fellow in the second row, Martin Hughes. Haggart feeds out. Charlie Simpson. Now, Harvey Elms, no prizes for guessing what he'll do. Currie edging up towards the 10-metre line, and Heriot's penalised for failure to roll away after the tackle.
Yeah, look, that was a phase of play that went on for a couple of minutes there. A mistake given back, another mistake given back, but you know, Currie look really dangerous again when the game breaks up. You look at that break that Jamie Forbes made earlier on was because the game had moved on a little bit. He picked two props in the middle of the field and had a good line break, but then Heriots were good and slowed them down on the 22. So Currie just have to keep working on just increasing the speed of ball at the breakdown.
You reckon that passage of play lasted 2 minutes? I was looking for a breather myself.
I was trying to speak, but you wouldn't let me in.
I'm sorry. What can I say? I was in the zone, man, in the zone. So, Fergus Scott, who was more prominent in that last series of Currie attacks, it's caught by Ainsley, and Fergus Scott trucks up into the Heriot's 22. Now here's Harvey Elms. John Semple, his opposite number, did just enough to delay him there. Ross Weston on route 1. Ainsley to Bain. Good tackling again. Jack McLean. He's put in a really good shift this afternoon. Referee playing an advantage. Forbes prods that kick through, and you just wonder how long before the referee's patience will run out here. He's going to have a wee word, Brian.
Yeah, I think so. I think he has to speak to them. You know, he spoke to them just before half time about them slowing the ball down, and they've done it again for the last 15 minutes of this half anyway. I can see why Heriots want to do it, seeing the way that Currie play, but referee really has to put the Heriots players under a little bit more pressure, I would think.
So again, kickable penalty, and Currie's ambition, we saw it from the first half. Forbes again opting for the touchline now. Hamish Bain, I think, is getting a wee bit treatment here. Remember, from the try that Ross Weston scored, Hamish Bain was the source of that. But looks as if Hamish is going off, and Mike Vernal is returning. Well, there's Bain disappearing. So let's see what Currie do here. Vernal is the option at the front. It goes, I think, to Ainsley. Fergus Scott quickly round. Currie did a good bit of bump and burl there. Carson hovering over the ball. It's a wee bit static though, isn't it? It's a bit better. That's Luke Crosby. There's the ball available. Shield delayed the pass. Quicker ball there. Shield. Forbes back inside to Nelson. Nelson cutting against the grain. Maltman in with the tackle. Quick ball again. Ainsley ball, I think, had gone forward from there. Referee is happy. Looks as if it might be a maul. Yeah, maul indeed, and it's a turnover. So after all that enterprise from Currie, nothing to show from it, Brian.
No, they started off a little bit static from the line at drive, and then started going probably a little bit lateral. Heriot's defended it well. I think, Robbie Nelson comes back in a cut. But again, Heriot's look comfortable defending Currie, especially inside the 22. It's when the game opens up, I suppose, when they're outside the 22 and they've got their back three looking away there. But they'll be disappointed to have coughed the ball up there, and Heriots will want to exit at least a halfway here, I would hope.
So Murray McCallum nearest us on the Heriot's loose side. The scrimmage platform not steady, so we'll have a reset. It's good to see front row forwards enjoying the game, and self-evidently enjoying the game, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the way the game is now, the front fives or front rows they're encouraged to play. You know, it's not just about scrummaging and not just about the lifting the line out. It's about playing, and we have seen the Heriots front row especially carrying ball, being involved in phase plays, and you know, still with the smiles on their face. They're enjoying the scrummaging as well.
That ball's just kind of stuck there. Is anything going to give? That's a very good scrum from Currie, and a re-scrum is ordered. So we've not had the blight of reset scrums today. I do hope this is not going to become a pattern.
No, the Currie boys will be really pleased with that scrum, though, just to show that, you know, that they have been under the cosh for so long, and that's a really good scrum to put the Heriots boys under. There's Murray McCallum sitting down. He's not enjoying it as much as he was 2 minutes ago now, Graham, is he?
I think it's a problem with the boots, Brian. He's concerned about the white boots,
yeah,
maybe.
Or a rest.
And Robbie Nelson's obviously been watching the telly because he did the obligatory, I'm a back, I must go and congratulate the forwards at what's going on there, even if I don't know what's happening. But
Been watching these Glasgow boys, Stuart Hogg and
Mark Bennett
I think,
and co.
I think Stuart does that for his GPS results, you know.
Okay, we've seemed to have been at this sequence of scrums for a wee while now, as the clock ticks on. Oh, not deja vu all over again. And the referee ran out of patience, I think, there.
Yeah, it looks like he's giving it for the far side. It looks like he's giving it to the Currie loose head. I think he was pointed over, and it looks maybe potentially it's been the touch judge on the far side that's given that.
So
I'm saying that because I never saw anything and I haven't a clue.
and I clearly was not going to disagree with you. Alex Haggart pops ball to about 35 metres from the Heriots line, and Rory Smith joins the fray for Currie, replacing Ben Robbins over on that Currie left wing. And Heriots really haven't gone for their benches yet. And right on cue, I can see activity as signal is given to Heriot's substitutes warming up at the scoreboard end to return to their technical zone as Michael Maltman. Flat pass from Haggart, Russell Nimmo. Oh, dearie me. Just a silly penalty. Russell not quite on the same wavelength as the man from Duns.
No, Western forced in Australia to Duns. I think it was the telepathy kind of went out there, but it was an easy defence. Tagivi Ragit stepped in because he could see what was happening. You know, that was Rosalia didn't really have an attack there. Second row was coming out the back. It was an easy read for him, and you know, it's a bad penalty to give away though. Good attack position now for Currie, and you know they're still in the game. 25-10 is not, you know, it's not out. out with the realms of possibility for them to come back into the game.
Yeah, Currie have finished strongly in a number of games this season. Beat Stirling County, I seem to remember, right at the death.
And the same at Glasgow Hawks over in Glasgow as well. I know that they have. They do chase games pretty well.
We've got approximately 17 minutes remaining. Currie trailing by 15 points at present, but they've really got the bit between their teeth here with this drive. And a penalty try awarded by referee Sam Grove-White. The Heriot's forwards interfered illegally, and I think Struan Cessford identified by the referee for the interference there, and that really does potentially change the whole dynamic of the game.
That's a massive, massive change to the game. That 25-17, 15 minutes to go, 16 minutes to go, and Heriot's losing a big tight head that that it's been part of their how they've been able to dominate the game. So Currie, as we've just said literally a minute ago, they've chased games pretty well in the past few games of the season, and I can see it happening again now.
Heriot's going to their bench with Liam Steele, the Scotland Club International Centre, replacing, it looks like, Charlie Simpson. And Steele's experience will, I'm sure, stand them in good stead. But tactically, it was a great score for Currie, but a bad score for Heriots to concede. Maltman to McCallum. Russell Nimmo feeds Haggart. Hint of a late tackle there. Yeah.
Heriots have just given a try away because of giving away a penalty, and they've now got into they've just lost a try. They're down to 14 men, and then they tried to play a release play out the back from the forwards. They just need to get back into the game and play the basics. They've just from 7 points given away, they're now in a defending position against a good attacking line-out. Coach killers, you would call those.
Well, you would, yeah. Now, let's see if Currie can take advantage of it. Fergus Scott to Ainsley. Shield, it's Ross Weston, right through the middle. Now, he's going to take some stopping from here. Oh, it's an out of the back of the hand pass, which he didn't need to give. Currie go over the top, there's a penalty there.
He's got the ball.
Well,
Junior Rosalie obviously supporting him with his best Scottish accent, asking for the ball to Ross Weston, and he obviously took it on board. Look, that's another line break because of Heriot's giving the ball away. Currie are the team in the ascendancy at the moment. They've now got the ball back in. I know that there's a little chat between the referee and the touch judge here, but Currie really are now on the front foot, and the Heriots cannot afford to give anything else away.
So Heriots, of course, having to ensure they have a full complement in the front row. So Martin Hughes, their young lock, departs, and Martin Buab will join the fray, with Murray McCallum reverting or moving over to tight head. So Charlie Shield, and as you say, Brian, momentum has swung. Here's Weston again, breaks the first tackle of Simmers. It's taken on again by the Currie back row. Ball has gone loose. Maltman down on the floor to win it. It's out to Semple, and Semple finds a very good clearance up towards the Currie 10 metre line. It was a shame for Currie there, Brian.
It was. Ross Weston's, now, making a lot of gains. Luke Crosby again, a good carry, but just a little bit high when he was carrying there, a little bit upright, and from the tackle was just able to strip him and give that ball away. So, but Currie have still got the ball. They're still just inside that 10 metre line as well. So it's still another good attacking position, and the Heriots are still down to 14 men.
Fergus Scott. And to McWilliam at the front, Charlie Shield. Currie organising. Vernal, tackle by Maltman. Ball's there. Here's Forbes. Nice step by Forbes. Shield. Fergus Scott. I'd like to see McLean's stats at the end of the game. As Robbie Nelson battles to get the ball to deck. Here's McWilliam again. He's been a pretty lively addition, hasn't he?
He's carried well and he's scrummaged well as well. The second half has been a huge difference to scrum, but he's carried well.
Here's Forbes. Forbes to Cammy Hutchison. Hutchison has Rory Smith outside. Good tackle by Rassalea. Shield beckoning his forward McGinley to come a wee bit closer, and the ball is turned over.
They'll be getting frustrated. Coaches will be getting a little bit frustrated. They're keeping the ball pretty well for longer periods, but just 5 metres out inside the 22. That's two mistakes in the last 2 to 3 minutes. They'll just be, the coach will be getting a message on keep the ball for longer. Keep putting that defence under pressure, especially when they're a man down.
It's been interesting the last sort of 10-15 minutes. Ratu Tagivi, the Australian professional from Glasgow Warriors, on the right wing has not featured.
He's not, and it's just the way the game's gone for him, unfortunately. But the back three for Currie looked a lot more dangerous first half than they have this half. But again, there've been other bigger players have come into the game more. Ross Weston has carried a lot more.
It struck me that we hadn't really seen him, and also that he hasn't really looked as if he's gone looking for ball either.
Not as much, and it's been interesting for him because when he's look at the size of the man, he's a big man. He when he does carry ball, he puts that defence under a little bit more pressure. So maybe it would be good to see him getting working in the midfield a little bit more as well.
Ben Robbins, who was subbed for Rory Smith 5 minutes or so ago, still keeping warm and loose on the touchline because Tagivi was just having a wee conversation with a Currie physio there. Anyway, Heriots, who, as Brian was saying, are a man light on the scrummage, with Struan Sesford having been sin-binned in the lead up to the Currie penalty try. And the scrummage, the last, really since a Heriot scrum put in about 10 minutes ago, that the scrummage has become quite untidy.
It has been untidy, and understandably just now as well with Sethford being off and McCallum going over to tight head, it's been a little bit different. And Currie will be wanting just to get something out of this. 10 minutes to go, they really need to come away with something the next 2 to 3 minutes.
So Simmers given the all clear by Sam Grove-White, and once again ruled that it's dropped on the loose head side. Ross Weston clearly doesn't share that opinion, but
no, he's signalling there that the Currie tight head's taken that in there, and that's 2 penalties that Currie have given away in that corner. That they can't afford to be doing. They just want to put them under pressure, get them X'd, and then Currie want the ball. But that's Heriot kicked out in their own penalty. It's their own put in.
Yep, Haggart takes them outside their own 22, and it'll be interesting to see what they try to do from here. They've gone for the shortened line out. It's Michael Lyons and Scrappy, but here goes Jack McLean over the 22. I would suggest that wasn't a tackle. Russell Nimmo does really well, takes the contact and burrows out of it. McCallum, Simmers, here's Maltman. Good 5 metre burst from the Musselburgh man. That's Marshall taking ball on now. So Heriot's just playing a one-pass game. Linus breaks through inside. Simmers knocks on the second time. Not so sure he knocked on the first time. Referee thinks otherwise.
Yeah, Currie will be disappointed the referee didn't play advantage there. I think that's where Currie have looked dangerous, is when the game's been loose. Here we are. The point that you made earlier on with Ben Robbins keeping warm. That's him coming on now for, looks like, for Cammy Hutchison.
So John Cox and Ben Robbins on, as you say, Brian. Ben replacing Cammy Hutchison. So Tagivi goes into the centre, and John Cox replacing McWilliam, and McWilliam I thought did a very good shift there.
Yeah, he did play very well. He's carried ball well. He's scrimmaged a lot well as well. Currie obviously trying to change things around a little bit, putting a little bit more pace in the midfield to see if they can just try this. Last seven and a half minutes to try to get this, this extra score and just get within that, a penalty for the victory.
So scrum right on the halfway line. Weston, Shield. It's out to Tagivi. Forbes on the wrap round. Breaks one tackle but doesn't get past Rasalea. Shield again. Here's Weston. Weston. Ball's gone forward. And Weston seems to have picked up a knock there as well. The sin binning period is over, so Currie did not add to the penalty try, which they converted while Cessford was on the naughty step. And Heriot's now back up to full strength. Martin Bouab has retired, so I'm just looking to see if Martin Hughes has resumed in the second row. Can't quite see behind the pillar.
Currie will be pleased that Ross Weston's got up from that injury there. He has been, the last 20 minutes has really carried hard into the Heriot's defence, and he's limping away there, but it's again just having him, somebody like that carrying, just puts Heriot's under pressure.
Currie win the line out, and that's a knock on there. Yeah, referee got that knock on. So 6 minutes remaining here. And Heriots, who've really been on the back foot for the last 15 minutes or so. I suppose there's two thoughts from a coaching perspective here, Brian. One, you want to make sure you win the game first and foremost, but they've also scored 3 tries, so there's still 6 minutes with a possibility of getting a bonus point.
Yeah, and also because of the way the 4th and 5th places, they'll not want Currie to get within 7 as well. So the first things first is win it. But it's a bonus point either way. Do we get the 4th try, or do we make sure Currie don't get within 7? So they don't want either of these things to happen.
Gone are the days when mid-table games in the top tier of Scottish club rugby might have attracted the adjective meaningless. Every single game counts. And there goes Haggart.
And these bonus points count. You know, they really, really do make a difference. And you know, you're right. The coaches will be thinking of that, and they'll be thinking about what's the best thing for them to do. Be interesting to see how these bonus points go in the Six Nations this year.
For sure. So Heriot's again. This time it's a 4-man line out with Michael Maltman in the auxiliary scrum half role. Messy, but Heriots have the ball through Linus. Here's Russell Nimmo. Here's another eager warhorse in the ball carrying role. Rasalea. A wee bit slow there, yeah. And here's a chance for Currie. So 4 minutes or so remaining. And Jamie Forbes takes Currie to within 28 metres or so of the Heriots line. Currie's forwards have a confab.
Interesting to see what Currie do. You know, we're talking about these bonus points. If they get a penalty, will they look to kick that and get within the 7? I would think they probably would, but you know, if they score now, will they then chase the game?
Shield. Ball balloons forward from Rory Smith, and that was Liam Steele. Simmers, and that's a good kick from Simmers. That's what you would have been looking for there. Clear your lines.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, with basically 2.5 minutes left on the clock, they've done well. Disappointing from Currie. Good attacking. You know, Charlie played a little bit hard pass to Rory Smith there, and it just kind of kills the game now in terms of Currie winning it.
Not to make excuses, but a question I suppose about, you know, you're a winger, you're an outside back. It's a cold day. Did you ever play with gloves, or did you ever do anything to try and keep your hands warm?
No, I didn't. It wasn't something that was kind of around, and I played in an era with people like Dave McIver. Crazy, you ever imagine wearing gloves with him around?
Okay, point well made. I'm sure you would have had a few comments, shall we say?
Yeah. I wouldn't have dared, Graham.
No.
But you know, it is a good point. It's cold, and that's, you know, 3 balls down in the last couple of minutes, which just, you know, it does kill the fact that you're trying to maybe chase that one bonus point, which would have made a difference for Currie. You know, 2 balls down, it's frustrating for everybody involved.
(25-17) then here, and it's probably come to the point of the entertainment this afternoon, Brian, to say, just for a bit of fun, if we were going to do a man of the match, who would your man of the match be? Sorry, I didn't give you any warning there.
No, you didn't give me any warning at all. But I think you'd have to look at the Heriots front row for the way that they've scrummed all day and put the Currie under pressure. But I have to say, I've been really impressed with the open side Jack McLean for Heriots. He's evented highly all day. They've slowed a lot of ball down with Currie, and a lot of that's been to do with him. So today's man of the match for me would be Jack McLean, the open side from Heriots.
Nimmo, Gavin Parker. I'm not sure about that decision, but anyway,
I think the ball kind of it did
let's
go
not,
forward, but again,
let's not talk about
we've not got the yeah. Okay, there's no replay, so there's nothing we can say.
Our run of play clock shows that we have run our 40 minutes in the second half, and there will probably be a little bit of injury time. And let's see if Currie can make any dents in this 8-point advantage that Heriot's hold. Tagivi looking for space, and there's that man, McLean, supporting Simmers and making the tackle. Fergus Scott. Oh, well, that's one of those in the eye of the beholder. Tackle on Carson. Shield on the narrow side. Currie a wee bit depleted. Again, advantage being played. Fergus Scott inside to McGinley. Shield, Forbes, John Cox. Cox cutting back in onto the halfway line. Referee still playing advantage. Forbes kicks ahead, caught by Harvey Elms. Shield. The referee deeming that advantage was not accruing from 13 metres away. Ross Weston. Shield. Cox. Forbes. Lovely pass. Forbes has certainly looked lively. Here's Tagivi. He has Rasalea. Finds space outside with Harvey Elms in support. Shield. Vernal has to pause to take the pass. Good tackle. And does well to recycle. Here's Robbie Nelson inside to Tagivi. Good tackle from Murray McCallum. Stephen Ainsley. Ball is there. Ben Robbins goes into scrum half. Nelson, tackle again by that man McLean. Forbes, Tagivi to Rory Smith. Shield. Ross Weston does well to hang on to that pass. Shield again. Inside pass. Ben Robbins tackled by Nimmo. Shield. He's tackled and he's held up. And that is full time here at Goldenacre. The battle between the clubs in mid-table. Currie in 4th place, defeated by Heriots in 5th place. And Heriots, as a consequence of that 25 points to 17 victory, have their name inscribed on the Bill McLaren Shield for the 2nd time. Bill McLaren Shield inscription, having won 4 games on the trot at home since they took possession of the Shield. So a double celebration, if you like, for the home team. Brian, your thoughts on the match this afternoon?
Yeah, I think a deserved win for Heriots today. I think I'm just listening to the man of the match, but yeah, they agreed with me. The front five were dominant. I think they put the Currie players under an awful lot of pressure, and because of that, they were just on the front foot that little bit more. Currie tried. They looked dangerous in the back three when they were on the front foot and they got quicker ball. They were very dangerous, but Heriots just did enough to win that game.
Thanks very much, Brian. On behalf of us all here at Scottish Rugby TV, production team, cameramen, and Brian and me, thanks for joining us. Next week, the BT Premiership continues, and we look forward to your company then. Until then, good afternoon.